how I came to existentialist questions. So my encounter with history, led me there, and in particular, my encounter with the history of my own people, if I may say. See, the history of Africans forcefully taken from the African continent. So we're going to use the term African. I guess my ancestors would not call themselves Africans, but now that's the term that's consecrated. So for the sake of our discussion, let's use it. That's the term we use today. So that history of being taken, of being seized from the original place, deported, enslaved in colonial plantations in America. And so it was clear to me that among all of these critical questions raised by this very fact of being in that situation, of bearing this plight, this experience, you see, the question of human existence was at the core of the phenomenon itself. So see, the phenomenon of being seized, of being deported, of being enslaved, and the fact that all of that was construed as done, a done deal, something that was supposed to be final. You seized, you deported, you enslaved, and that was supposed to be your final plight, your final state, period. So they were plunged in this sort of spiral, very much led by violence, by this power dynamic that was so disbalanced. And so, and they were viewed as non-existent. And if ever they did exist somewhere, they carried existence, or pretended they did, that was seen as a factor that should be neutralized by all means, and especially by the means of violence, and I should say by violences. So to me, the question was, how do you make existence? See, so another question also was, still is to me, how can their answers actually enlighten us today? Because I'm very much interested in today. So this is why I do all of that. So how can that help us or support us in our own existence and existence building today? I look into also in the same context of enslavement, but bringing a gender lens in, how enslaved African women actually would also seek to make existence as characterized as women as well. So none of these people, whether men or women, as long as you're an enslaved person, you cannot think of yourself as being a person, because you are defined, so that the system, okay, wants to lead you to not think of yourself as a person, and uses so many various devices to achieve that. And so one of the ways, one of the means is for example, the code noire, the black code, where your identity is defined. So there's an article, I think it's article 44, that says that, the enslaved is not a person, right? They don't phrase it in this way. They are bien meubles, which is like furniture. Meuble in French means furniture. So, of course, the risks are that ultimately, given the power relation, given the violences that are exerted constantly as well, the risks are that, that may well happen, that you actually abandon your sense of being a human person.